I think this is a good stone, even though it's hard to see. We just got a space in there and it's nice. People in the bush just gave up their most expensive crystal opal, which is such a rare and beautiful gem that collectors would fight to get it. This diamond wasn't like any other. It was a beautiful treasure that had been shaped over millions of years by the harsh Australian earth. What could make them give up something so valuable, though? Our team will find out the real reason for the sale that forced everyone to leave the country in the middle of the night. The law that killed 1,000 workers. It turns out that the government told them what to do. Everything turned upside down when a new set of mining rules came out of the blue. Claims that had been properly filed since 2015 were suddenly thrown out overnight. From Lightning Ridge to Grong, hundreds of miners were left in a mess. Their jobs were destroyed by useless bureaucracy. It was like they had done everything by the book. They were the ones who paid the price, though. There was no talk, no notice, just a hard stop. Before we go any further, it's clear that the truth behind these sudden rules on mining is much scarier than anyone thought. This won't be the only shocking thing that comes out. This meant only one thing for the Bushmen. They had to change or die. We can't do anything down there. There's no way for us to go down there right now, because most of their mine sites were blocked by red tape. Rod cut out a few props for us to use here. Robbie's claim was their last chance in safe haven. That would last for a while, though. They had a lot of bills to pay, and no new places to live to look for, so they weren't having many choices. That's why they had to sell their most valuable find at auction, even though it hurt. 61 carats of pure brightness. The opal was a wonder in and of itself. A rainbow of deep blues, hot reds and electric greens flashed off of it under the lights. His was a once-in-a-lifetime find for anyone who knew opals. It was the kind of stone that could set a man up for years if not a lifetime. But now it was being given to the person who bid the most. It was tense at the online sale. People from all over the world lined up and threw out numbers like it was a very important poker game. The price starts at $5,000. Is a good amount, but not even close to what this beauty was worth. Offers went up quickly, 3,000, 4,000, then 5,000, 6,000, and more. The Bushmen watched as each bid raised the stakes. They knew that when the gavel fell, this piece of history would be gone for good. It sold for a price that many people would call life-changing, but here is the harsh truth. It would be impossible to get back what was lost with money. Not only did they want to sell an opal, there was a whole way of life being taken away. The information, hard work, and sheer determination of generations were all thrown away by a system that didn't care. The Bushmen were selling more than just rocks. The last bit of security they had to sell was being sold. It has never been easy to mine opal in Australia. Miners have always been taking risks. They could work for years and find nothing, or they could hit a vein that changes their lives forever. Now though, even that small chance is going away. Many people have to give up because it's too hard to get the permits they need because of strict new rules. Opals will soon be harder to find than ever, which will make them more valuable. What does it matter if the people who used to mine them can't do it anymore? For the people who are still working in the mines, things have never been harder. The cost of mining has gone up, and there are now fewer places to dig, so the battle is fierce. A lot of people have already left because they couldn't afford the ever-rising fees or deal with all the rules. The streets of the mine towns that used to be full of people are getting quieter than they used to be as people leave. People who are still alive are holding on to the hope that something will change before it's too late. One of the most beautiful opals ever found was sold at an auction not long ago to the top bidder. This rare gem was taken away in a single moment of finality. It was made deep underground over millions of years. The miners who found it after a lot of hard work in the hot sun saw their prize go away. It's possible that it is now locked away in a collector's vault. The moment was both a sign that their work still mattered, and a warning that the road ahead was getting even harder. Will there be anyone left to find gems like this in the future if mining keeps going away? It's not just about one opal, one sale, or even one group of miners. Pieces of a whole way of life are being taken away, one law at a time. Opal mining has been a part of Australia's past for more than 100 years, changing whole towns and families for generations. It has never been an easy job. It has always required skill, drive, and toughness. People who have spent their whole lives doing it are now being pushed out, not because of bad luck, but because of rules that make it almost impossible to keep going. That makes me wonder about something else. Who will gain from stopping the mining of opals? Is it because they care about the environment, or is there something else going on? Since opals are getting more expensive, making them less common will benefit someone. But will it be the miners who lost everything because they work so hard? Who will win? Those who have never had to swing a pick in the hot sun. One thing is for sure, the business is in a tough spot. Mines might not be used again after they close. Because they had nowhere else to go, the Bushmen had to keep digging. The next big find might take their lives. Their last chance was hidden in the dirt. Deep in Australia's hot and dusty bush, a group of miners called the Bushmen dig work hard and risk everything for the chance to find opal gold. When you watch bush opal hunters, you see them deal with broken tools, bad weather and bad luck that would normally make most people give up. These workers are not like most. They've been digging for opals for a long time, and are determined to keep going, even though it's crazy because they know that one good find can change everything. Rod Manning is in charge of this hard-working group. He is often called Bushman for a reason. He dug into the ground for years, getting to know the land like a book, and found opals in spots no one else would have thought to look. He has another miner with him named Les Walsh, who also knows exactly what it takes to make it in this dangerous job. Together they've been through danger, heartbreak, and sometimes the kind of gemstone finds that make all the hard work worth it. A rough, tough piece of land in New South Wales, called Sheepyard, is where they fight most of the time. Opals hide deep underground there, waiting for the right people to find them. Different from other teams that use high-tech tools and big funds, the Bushmen do things the old-fashioned way. Forks, practice, and instinct are all that's needed. Being able to feel the changes in the ground and believing that there is a flash of color somewhere in the darkness is what it's all about. To be honest though, opal digging is very hard. There have been times when the Bushmen almost lost. Les was caught in a fuel blast that hurt and burned him. It was one of the worst. A lot of people would have given up and quit, but Les got up, got better, and went back to work right away. That's the kind of hard work that makes this team strong. They don't give up, even when machines break down or the land won't give up its treasures. Every day feels like a battle against nature. The money side of opal mining is just as cruel. Sometimes you won't find anything to sell for weeks, or even months. It can quickly drain a miner's bank account to keep machines running, gear in good shape, and just stay alive out there. There are times though when things go right again. Tens of thousands of dollars worth of opals have been dug out of the ground by them. They need to show that their risk isn't just a wild guess, it's a real chance at something big. Each time they find a valuable pocket, it makes them want to keep going. The Bushmen are known for being real, even though they dig and are dangerous. Guys who don't mess around and love what they do. They're not just miners, they live in opal with everyone else. During their break they didn't just go to Lightning Ridge to see the Black Hands chambers for fun. They were welcomed like old friends because in this world, reputation means everything. People respect miners who put in the work, and Rod and Les have earned that respect the hard way. Watching the Bushmen on Outback Opal hunters is a lesson in persistence. They don't have an easy path. They face breakdowns, exhaustion, and constant uncertainty. But there's something about the way they keep pushing forward that makes them impossible to ignore. Opal mining isn't just a job, it's an obsession, a lifestyle, a gamble that few are willing to take. But for Rod and Les, it's the only way to live. Every miner hopes to find an opal so rare and valuable that it changes their life. But for some it happens in ways no one expected. Chasing opals in a harsh land, opal mining in Australia, has always been a gamble. It's a back-breaking, unpredictable job that can leave you with pockets full of dust. Or, if luck is on your side, a gem worth a fortune. The TV show Outback Opal Hunters puts a spotlight on these fearless miners, chasing after stones that could either make or break them. Over the years some insane finds have surfaced, but only a few have truly made jaws drop. If you think opal mining is all about hitting it big overnight, think again. There's a whole lot more to it than just digging and hoping. Take for example, the crew known as the Opal. This tight-knit group, including siblings Isaac and Sophia Andre, along with their partners Chris Daff and David Darby, took a chance in the remote, sun-scorched lands near Yoa, in Queensland. They knew the area was famous for its odd-looking Yoa nuts boulder opals hidden inside ironstone. But what they didn't expect was to stumble upon a whopping 150 kilograms of them, a haul worth over $1 million. That's not just a good day. That's the kind of find that turns a struggling miner into an opal legend. But before you start dreaming about quitting your day job and heading to the outback, let's put things into perspective. Finding opals isn't like picking up seashells at the beach. The Opal Whisperer's discovery wasn't just about luck. It was about knowing where to look, digging tirelessly, and not giving up, even when the chances seemed impossible. Among their haul, one piece stood out, the Yoa Moan, a stunning stone worth at more than $50,000. A find like that isn't just rare, it's almost unheard of. and yet they made it happen. They're not the only ones who struck gold, or rather, opal. The Mocha Boys, a group of miners fresh on the scene, also made a find that turned heads. During their first season working freely, they pulled an enormous opal out of their claim. For newcomers, that's the kind of find that doesn't just change their bank account, it changes their entire future in mining. It was proof that persistence pays off, even in one of the toughest jobs in the world. But here's the thing, opal mining isn't just about getting rich. Sure, the money is tempting, but what really keeps these miners going is the thrill of the hunt. Opals are unlike any other gemstone. Thanks to their unique play of color, no two are exactly alike, which makes them incredibly valuable to collectors. You're not buying it, so don't try and friggin' talk it down. Please give us the real score. We think we have about 120 grams. They are adored by jewelers all over the world, who know that every stone has its own story to tell. That's why the chase is fun. Opal Hunters isn't just a show about people digging in the ground. It shows the harsh truth of what it's like to work in this business. This is not a nice place to be. Scorching heat, dangerous wildlife, and equipment that constantly breaks down are just the beginning. And let's not forget the biggest challenge of all, the fact that you might dig for weeks, months, or even years without finding a thing. The emotional roller coaster of opal mining is what makes the show so addictive. When someone finally uncovers a gemstone worth thousands, it's like winning the lottery after a lifetime of losing tickets. While old-school miners rely on gut instinct and experience, technology is starting to change the game. Daniel Brown, a tech whiz with a background in artificial intelligence, decided to shake things up. He introduced Opal AI, a cutting-edge system designed to scan the ground for hidden opals. By analyzing visual data, this technology helps miners identify potential hotspots without wasting time and energy on fruitless digging. It's a revolutionary step for the industry. But let's be honest, some old-timers probably see it as cheating. After all, half the thrill is in the search. Even with AI stepping into the picture, mining still isn't easy. The thrill of discovery is what drives these teams to keep going, no matter how many times they come up empty-handed. The bonds between miners are just as strong as the stones they seek. They share the highs, the lows, the frustration of finding nothing, and the sheer joy of pulling a valuable opal. And that's what makes Outback Opal Hunters stand out. It's not just about the gems, it's about the people who chase them. Places like Coober Pedy and Yoa remain the heart of Australia's opal business. They're more than just mining towns, they're cultural landmarks, where generations have fought against the land in search of fortune. Every year these communities come together to celebrate the opal trade, holding festivals that highlight just how deeply embedded opal mining is in Australian history. Even with all the risks, people keep coming back lured by the possibility of striking it rich. Opal mining may seem exciting, but hidden beneath it all are dangers and struggles that make it one of the toughest jobs out there. The real cost of digging for opal. It might sound fun to mine opals, like looking for lost treasure, but the truth is very different. It's a dangerous and hard job that can leave miners hurt, broke, or even worse. There are physical risks that make it a risky thing to do, and that's just the beginning. The problem is made worse by the damage to the land, the unstable market, and the impact on whole communities. If someone wants to get rich in the opal fields, they should know what they're getting themselves into, or falling into in some cases. The ground itself is one of the most dangerous parts of opal mining. These tunnels aren't exactly built with safety in mind. They dig tunnels through the ground, and if they don't strengthen them properly, the tunnels could collapse at any time. Imagine working in a small dark room, when all of a sudden the roof caves in. There's not time to do anything. The older or weaker the tools, the worse the risk. But many miners use whatever equipment they can afford, even if it's outdated or barely holding together, and that's just underground. Above ground, there are vertical shafts that can be dozens of feet deep. One wrong step near the edge, and down you go. Some miners work alone, and if they fall, there's no one there to help. Breathing in those caves isn't easy either. The air can turn dangerous fast, filling with deadly gases like carbon monoxide or methane. Without good ventilation, miners might not even know they're in trouble until it's too late. Confined spaces make it even worse. If something goes wrong, getting out is no simple task. Then there's the temperature. Opal mining hotspots are known for extreme heat during the day and bone-chilling cold at night. Being subjected to these conditions for hours on end takes a toll. Heat stroke, hypothermia, exhaustion, just another day on the job. It's not just the miners at risk. The earth is really hurt by opal mining. Robbie's was the only mine that we were legally allowed to work on, and the roost was about to come in. All of our other claims are that, we can't work. When you dig up land, you leave marks that don't go away. The dirt is packed down by heavy equipment, making it harder for plants to grow. Rainwater runs off instead of soaking in, leading to soil damage. If you don't take care of it, what used to be a good place to mine will turn to empty land. But even worse, forests and grasslands are cleared away to make room for mining, destroying the homes of animals and plants. Once that balance is gone, it doesn't come back quickly. Then there are the old mine shafts, which are holes in the ground that animals, people, and even cars can get stuck in and die. Some of these shafts are so well hidden that someone could fall in without realizing it was even there. Even if a miner manages to stay safe and find opals, there's no promise of a steady income. The opal market is unpredictable, and the value of these gemstones changes constantly. Some miners spend weeks or months looking only to come up empty-handed. Others find opals, but fight to sell them at a fair price. Opal trade that is against the law makes it even harder for honest miners in places like Ethiopia to make a living. It's a business with a lot of risk and profit, but most people don't win. Did the Bushman make a smart choice, or was this a terrible mistake driven by something deeper? Please let us know what you think, and don't forget to like and follow for more.